Joining me now for his weekly slot is Labour leader Chris Hipkins. Chris, good morning.
Good morning.
And congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Big day.
Your big day yesterday. How's it feeling?
That's pretty awesome, actually. Yes, I'm a very, very lucky man.
Now, tell us about the ring. Everyone in the office is wanting to know about the ring. Who chose it? Were you nervous about that? How was it received?
I chose the ring. I didn't consult, and so I was a little bit nervous about that. But it seems to have done the trick. It seems to have been quite successful. So I'm pretty happy about that.
And wedding? When are you going to have the wedding? Is it you're going to have it on the campaign trail? Presumably not.
No, I think we're looking at next summer, sometime next summer. We've got an election campaign to get through between now and then, though.
Did you tell any of your colleagues? Like, who do you go for that type of advice in the caucus?
I didn't actually tell anybody this time, in this particular instance. I just decided that it was something that I was going to do. It was Tony's birthday last week, and so I decided to coincide it with her birthday.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, congratulations. Very happy that you seem so happy. It's nice to see.
Thank you.
Right, now let's go down to some business. What about the Green Party yesterday and their mining call? So they've said, look, we're telling the markets now before any of these fast-track permits get issued so that there's full transparency that we're not going to go ahead with any of these mining projects. Are you on board with them on that?
Well, that's the Greens policy. We haven't released our own policy on this stuff yet. We'll do that probably early next year, and we'll be clear where we stand on that. We've said that we'd review some of those fast-track projects case by case, because we are concerned about some of those things. We don't think that seabed mining is good for New Zealand. Offshore wind would be a better option for New Zealand, and seabed mining and offshore wind actually aren't compatible with one another. More offshore wind's actually going to be better for New Zealand consumers.
So are you going to be good like the Greens and give the market forewarning that you'll be revoking any licences, any permits that might be issued by this government?
We'll be very upfront with what we're going to do. If you look at oil and gas, what we did when we introduced the oil and gas ban is we did honour existing contractual commitments that the government had entered into with the oil and gas ban, so those who had existing permits were still able to use them. But we'll set out our policy on this particular issue very clearly next year. Next year.
So some of those permits will be issued by then. Are you leaving the door open for cancelling permits that have been issued?
The threshold for that would be a very, very high one. As you saw with oil and gas, we didn't do that in that instance. So we're still working through all of the details of that. We haven't confirmed our policy yet. I'm not going to speculate on what that policy will be until we've been through that.
Record numbers of Kiwis leaving for Australia. We know this story. It's one that will probably help your electoral chances. Have you considered campaigning in Australia?
There are a lot of Kiwis living in Australia, particularly in areas like Brisbane and the Gold Coast and Sydney. I haven't got any plans to go over to Australia to campaign, but my message to them is, we're trying to make New Zealand into a country that you'll want to come back to. And if you support that, then vote Labour.
You need to have an event in Brisbane.
Oh, maybe. I mean, looking at why New Zealanders moved to Australia, it actually resonates with the three key themes that we're campaigning on: jobs, health, homes. People go to Australia because they can get better paid jobs. They're more likely to be able to buy their own home. These are the things that actually really matter to the New Zealanders who are leaving. If we do a better job of that here in New Zealand, if we tackle the cost of living here in New Zealand, make this a country that our young people want to stay, we'll see less of that exodus to Australia.
So jobs, health, homes is your motto for the campaign. On health and on homes, under this government, homes have never been cheaper, certainly a lot cheaper than when you were in power, and the wait lists for health are coming down.
People can see that the health system is descending further into crisis under this government, and it's getting more expensive to go and see your doctor. I want to see more people seeing their doctor, which is why we're committed to 3 free visits to the GP every year for all New Zealanders, because I would rather people stayed healthy, got the early health care they needed before they ended up in hospital, rather than have to deal with more people in hospital who don't necessarily need to be there if we give them the health care they need earlier.
I heard from Peter, who's a listener on News Talk ZB yesterday, and I just wanted to put this to you. He says, has the media thought of asking Hipkins how the valuation profession will be required and what they'll be required to do for the capital gains tax? It could require a new set of valuation standards to be developed and to be approved, which can take 18 months. Guidance notes will also be required to be developed. The ignorance of the media and politicians around these issues is a reflection on both. So I thought, unabridged, I'd ask you Peter's question in the interest of transparency. What's going to happen on valuation day, and is it going to happen as quickly as you think it will?
Well, I think he should give the media a bit of a break. They've asked us this question quite a lot, actually, and the tax working group set out a whole chapter on how valuation day can take place. So those who want to sell, around valuation day will need to get a valuation at that time. There are a range of different methods to do that. Those who want to hold on to their properties will actually have several years in which to sort out the valuation day valuation of their place. There are different methods set out in the tax working group, so you can use something as simple as a straight line,
yes,
which
I know.
is, you figure out what the property's worth when you buy it, what it's worth when you sell it, and you draw a straight line between those. That's the simplest method. Or alternatively, you can get a commercial valuation.
I know, you keep saying this is the simplest method, this is another method. The point is you don't have a method yet. And Peter says you're going to need a new set of valuation standards to be developed. Did you even know that?
Well, no, because at the moment, under the bright line test, people have options in which method of valuation they choose. And so, actually, bright line test is a bit simpler because generally it's only after you buy and sell. But there are existing tax policies where people have options for how they do valuations. And so those options already exist, and the IRD already do that for valuations for commercial purposes at the moment.
All right. Hey, appreciate your time this morning, Chris. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Chris Hipkins, Labor leader with us.